All right, I want to show you the tail lamps and a couple of problem areas and some fixes I've found over the years. One is they're corroded, unless they've been perfectly sealed for 60 years, but often they're corroded and they look like that, kind of bad, especially on the East Coast. So at night, that's going to make them dim. Even if your bulbs are working, it's not going to reflect the light. You're not going to see much. So a quick fix for that I have found is to remove the lights, the bulb bases and wires, and bead blast, just a basic bead blast the interior and the outer rim there, and paint it with something like the Rust-Oleum chrome finish paints, and just let it sit overnight. So what you basically do is you go from the one on the left to the one on the right, and you can see the huge difference there. Just bead blasting and painting with the chrome paint. And it's not going to be as good as probably the a chrome finish inside, but it's going to be much brighter, and it's going to look a whole lot better at night. So that's one way to restore the interior. Just bead blast it and paint it with chrome paint. The other issue is the light bases. In the center, you got the park and the turn signal brake light. You got a dim filament for the park and for the tail lamp, and then you got the brighter filament for the turn signal and the brake. So the wires corrode. The wires get stuck. They both, for the center and the backup light, they have to slide through a hard plastic sleeve, and they usually freeze up in that hard plastic sleeve. And the springs corrode, they get corroded in the bottom, etc., etc. But the bottom line is, once you try to put another bulb in there, they don't push back up, and so that the contact will reach the bulb tips. So anyway, how they should work, and I think this one will work, maybe I've worked with it some, is when you pull the, when these come out, they slide back in. I don't know if you can see that movement there, but when I pull these wires out, back, like when you're putting the bulb in, and release it, the spring pushes it back. You probably can't see it from the inside, but we'll give it a shot. And so I'm pulling it, and then I release it, and I can feel the spring pushing the contacts back up to the bulb. So that's how you get the contact with the bulb. So you can take off this grommet, it comes off. You can push the wire all the way through, like I'm doing here. You can clean the wires. You can use 4-0 steel wool. You can use, and then you can lube them down with WD-40 or grease or whatever. But then, as long as they are doing what this is doing, going back and forth to the bulb, you're good to go. Now, sometimes they're just too far gone, and there is a fix for that. You have to remove the wire. You have to remove that hard plastic piece. Oh, and that hard, and I'll show you what that looks like. So this is what's inside the bulb base. You got this very hard plastic piece that slides into the bottom of the bulb base, and those springs is what is pushing the wire contact up against the bottom of the bulb. But again, the problem is it has to slide through a sleeve like this. A couple of tricks on this is, one, you can just lube it and clean it, but you can cut little slits on this. You can actually snip these off if you want to, and you can take a 1/8 inch drill. The main point is this wire's got to slide up, back and forth through that sleeve from the back side. If it's not moving, you're not going to touch the bulb, and the bulb's not going to work, regardless of what you do. So that's the center park light. The thing about the bottom reverse light is it's set up a little bit different. It's got a more shallow bulb base, and it's got a funnel-shaped piece that fits inside, and the spring actually goes inside the funnel. So the spring is actually seated below the bottom of the bulb base. And the same thing it should push the contact back. And I've actually cut that little funnel piece off this. I was having a hard time with that one, but this one's working again. And so this is how you would fix the reverse light. They do have, just like for the center, they have a single filament repair kit. But the problem is the bulb base is too shallow for this to fit in. You can put that in there and it fits fine, but the bulb will not go down far enough to twist and turn and lock. So you almost have to go back and use the original hard plastic funnel. So, and that's one of the problems there. The final thing I can share with you is I got on this park lamp kick last week when a guy wanted one for his 63, and I had everything set up. The spring was working for the center, the two in the center and the one in the reverse, and I kept trying, and every time I put a bulb in there, I knew it was contacting, the tip of the wire was contacting, but it would not work. And I thought, and then I looked at this base. This base, I guess it's copper. It could be brass. I think it's copper. But I used my continuity tester, and I went from the base to the lamp fixture, and I wasn't getting continuity. So the simple fix, the like 1 second fix, is I just took a pair of channel locks like this, and I turned it. So apparently, over 59, 60 years, it loses contact. You get oxidation between the bulb base and the lamp fixture. And the only thing I had to do to fix it was just take some pliers and just turn it. And I put the bulb back in and it worked. So if everything seems to be right, make sure you're getting contact between this base and the lamp fixture. And that's my take tip for the day. Been kind of long, but it covers a lot of ground. But those are the main problems I've found with the tail lamps. So this one, as soon as I put the lights in, I'll go hopefully to someone with a 63 that needs good tail lamps that are working and have a nice shiny interior. Talk to you later.